So this video is more for those that are a little bit closer to that home purchase, that move up here to the mountains. But hey, this is still good information for anyone that is just now entering their search and you're thinking about Evergreen, Colorado. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sean Murphy, and in this channel we make videos about what it's like to live and move to Colorado. This video is specifically about Evergreen, Colorado, and we're going to get into this list covering things about insurance, taxes, schools, wells and septic, and just the dirt on the dirt up in these hills. First, talk about well and septic because some people aren't familiar with well and septic, and they're like, I would like to avoid that. Well, it's going to be a little bit harder for you to avoid well and septic here in the mountains. I think it's a pro. I like the idea of having well and septic. I like having my own water source in case shit goes crazy. I know I can get to some good H2O, and our water is fantastic up here in the mountains because it's gone through less shit through the rivers and streams to get to us. So I'm a big fan of wells, but if you're not into that and you want some public water, public sewer, your best chance in Evergreen is going to be north of the lake. And so north of Evergreen Lake, talking about like most of the high one areas, you will find that these guys are going to be tapped into public water, public sewer. So when you are purchasing a home that does have a well, you will want to have that well tested. You're going to have it tested not only for water quality, but the pump rate. And so you want to make sure that there's no E. coli and bacteria in that water that you're going to be drinking. But then also just making sure it's refilling, fast enough to help get you through the day. So if you have a teenager that takes 40-minute showers and you're trying to do laundry and do the dishwasher at the same time, we're going to let you know if you're going to be able to do all those things at the same time. And if you can't, sometimes we'll have a cistern in the garage that will fill up overnight, and so that you will tap into that water first throughout the day, and that way you're always getting a steady flow of water as you need. Another thing to know about septic systems in Jefferson County, that's where Evergreen is, they require a septic use permit to transfer ownership of that septic system. So that's an advantage to the buyer because that means the seller, they're going to have to take their shit when they go. They're going to have to pump that tank. Normally they do it when you go under contract, but they'll get a contractor out there to pump the tank, and while they're pumping that tank, they will be checking the vault, checking the opening, just to make sure the seal is good and everything like that. So you, as a home buyer, you don't really have to worry about inspecting the septic tank. Now, I still do recommend you get the sewage line from the house to that tank inspected. Make sure there's no cracks or dips or clogs or anything like that. But the overall tank, the county's kind of got you back with that. Next up, let's talk taxes. Now, Colorado, you're going to love this. Likely, because wherever you are, our property taxes are very likely lower. Colorado, we have, I think, the tied for the fourth lowest property taxes in the country. And you can get even better in Evergreen. So you're two different areas of Evergreen, two different counties. So you'll have Jefferson County. That's going to be like 90% of Evergreen is going to be in Jefferson County, Jeffco, as we call it. Taxes are a little bit higher than in some of these areas. You're going to have Clear Creek County taxes, which are lower. Not too much of Evergreen is going to be in Clear Creek County, but you'll get slithers of this on like Floyd Hill, which is right along I-70. As you're going to the mountains, you look left, you're going to see those houses on the hill there. That's Floyd Hill. You're going to be in Clear Creek County there. And then back up Brook Forest Road, kind of where Brook Forest and Shadow Mountain, right where Evergreen and Conifer, that's going to be the Forest Estates neighborhood up in there. And that's going to be Clear Creek as well. You'll typically find some lower price point homes in that area as well, but it's not for everyone because that road up there, it's a little bit wily. And so as soon as I give a video to my clients of the route that they'd be taking on the reg, they're like, nah, bro, not going to work. But that's okay. But if you're like roughing it and getting after it with your four-wheel drive vehicle, 4 states is a good area. And then the last place where you'll catch a little slither of Clear Creek County is going to be back like Whittier Gulch, up like Stagecoach Road back in here. This is also going to be Clear Creek as well. So with these counties, I get the question from parents about the school system. Like, can my kids go to any schools? And it is open enrollment out here. And so you can get your kids to any school. Typically, if you just intersect them with the school bus route of the school that is going to what Evergreen or Conifer or wherever you'd like them to go, that'll work for you. But whichever school you got your kids going to, they're going to be well educated. According to greatschools.org, Conifer is rated a 9 out of 10, and Evergreen High School is rated a 10 out of 10. Can't get any better than that. Just one thing to look as you're looking at homes, check out to see which county you're in, because if you're in Clear Creek, that's definitely a plus. Hey, and if you appreciate this video on the nuanced aspects of moving up to Evergreen, Colorado, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I come at you every week with some type of new video. Whether it's a live stream every Saturday at 8 a.m., I walk through every new home to hit the foothills market. Anything within about an hour west of the greater Denver metro, covering areas like Bailey, Blackhawk, Conifer, Evergreen, Idaho Springs, Indian Hills, Kittredge, Morrison, all those areas every Saturday, Mountain Standard Time. I go from the least expensive to the most expensive, do a little screen share, just talk about the houses and things to know about if you were to live in that area. So definitely check that out. Next on, we are going to talk about the hot item right now in mountain real estate, and that is insurance. More specifically, fire insurance, because that is the biggest threat up in these hills. We don't have earthquakes, we don't have hurricanes, we don't have tornadoes, but the threat of a wildfire should be high. And I don't want you to get totally scared and freaked out about the ability to find insurance. There's normally always somebody up here that will insure the property for a reasonable rate. But what you do need to be aware is sometimes it's going to take a few more calls for you to find that provider. So on my team, we help our clients out by doing two things. One, we bump that deadline out for you to find property insurance a little bit further back than you would in a typically like urban environment. Also, we have a list of about 34 insurance providers out here. So as soon as we go under contract, we recommend that you start calling around these providers to find a rate that works for you. Because you're not going to just easily find, let's use the example of State Farm. You use State Farm for your insurance right now. It's not 100% chance that State Farm's automatically going to insure that property. Even if the current homeowner has State Farm, that is not a 100% sure thing that they're going to continue the policy to the next homeowner. I have had this experience because that's normally what I do. I'll normally reach out to the seller of the property, and I'll say, who are they using? Because that's usually at least somebody, pretty good chances that they will insure the property. But what I've been finding is like State Farm, they'll say, hey, we're currently insuring that house, we're insuring all the other neighbors as well, but we are at our limit for risk tolerance in this area. So we're not taking on any more new business in the area, even though we're insuring everyone around you. So don't be freaked out, but it's definitely something that we jump on right away once we get under contract on a property. And then from there, just mitigating your own property. So typically what the insurance company is going to do, they're going to do like a drone photo, satellite imagery of the property just to see where the trees are. And sometimes they'll say, we will insure this property. However, we need you to thin out some of these trees to lower the risk of flames jumping from the trees to the roof. Also, talking about roofs, if you have a metal roof or a fire resistant type shingle, that's good. Insurance companies like that, and they're more than likely going to give you a little bit of a deduction on your monthly payment for having that safety feature there. Even the county tries to help homeowners reduce that risk of wildfires by having slash days. And what a slash day is that the county will set up stations throughout the county that you can come clear out your property, put all the dead debris and everything like that in the back of a truck, come drop it off, and they'll haul it away for you. So ideally, like your homes are sparse, really close to your house. You cut up 10 feet from the base of the tree. That way, if there's a ground fire, it's not going to jump up and catch the rest of the tree on fire. And you're mitigating, removing the dead trees as they die. So clean them out every spring. And lastly, let's just talk about cars, because I get this question a lot as well. Do you need four-wheel drive? The answer is no. You don't have to have four-wheel drive up here in the mountains. I recommend, highly recommend all-wheel drive. Every time I say this, there's somebody in the comments that says, I've lived up here 20 years and I've had front-wheel drive my whole life, or the past 20 years. Cool. That's cool, but I still don't recommend it. I do recommend some good tires and all-wheel drive that'll take care of you pretty well up here, especially as soon as you hit a county-maintained road, because the counties do a really good job. They're always going to hit the highways first, and then the main school bus routes will get hit next. So if you see a little school bus route sign on your road, that's nice. You're going to be one of the first homes to get hit every morning when it snows. But there are some instances where you will need a four-wheel drive vehicle. For example, if your driveway is long and steep, and especially if that long, steep driveway is north-facing, the sun in the winter is going to be a little bit lower, and if you have a north-facing driveway, it's not going to get that beautiful Colorado sun to clear off the snow and melt all the potential ice that gets on there. So if you're in that type of situation, or if you're living in a lot of areas of Floyd Hill or back like forest estates that I was talking about earlier, those you definitely want to have four-wheel drive, or just stay at home, or you're not going anywhere, right? So that is part of the thing that we help our clients out, because we understand everyone has their own level of what they're looking for when it comes to mountain living. So that's why you give us a call. We jump on a buyer's consultation with you guys to get a feel for what you like and don't like. And then when we're out there helping you identify good houses, we're always pointing out things like accessibility, slope, what that's going to mean in your day-to-day commute, and when it dumps snow, what it's going to look like as far as getting that snow out of there. So definitely reach out to us, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email if you're looking to get started with that conversation. But last thing I'll talk about, since we're talking about vehicles, is the mountains. They're dusty up here. Because we have loose granite and it's an arid montane climate up here, we don't have heavy, moist, wet soil. So as soon as it gets windy, it's just whipping dust around. And so your car, if it's not in the garage, it's going to get dusty pretty quick, almost every day. So I highly recommend, especially if you're in Evergreen, was True Clean over by the commercial section of Evergreen, by the Home Depot and the Starbucks, right by I-70 off of Evergreen Parkway. Get yourself a monthly membership if you can over there, because it's really nice. Just if you're heading down the hill for a show or to do some shopping or whatever you might need to do down in Denver, it's just right there, super easy, accessible, right before you get on the highway. So if you guys have more questions about the nuanced things, aspects of moving to Evergreen, Colorado, definitely, 100%, highly recommend jump on with me on Saturdays at 8 a.m. Takes me about 2 hours going from the least expensive to the most expensive, so plenty of time if you're not up at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to catch me before I sign off each week. And yeah, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.